魔王の記憶を夢で見るか。私も伝え聞くだけだけど、少なくとも状況は合致するでしょうね。
Stories of Diablo's death?
魔王アリオンは、戦乙女にその胸を貫かれて死んだ。そう聞いているわ。
So he was mortal and could feel pain, right?
もちろん。
やっぱり満足はおかしいよね。
Yeah. Him getting stabbed meant his side lost the battle.
え？
Wait, isn't that what happened?
状況的にはそう言えるでしょうが。そういえば、大まかにしか説明してなかったわね。
What do you mean?
改めて話すわ。もしかしたら、夢と関係していることもあるかもしれないから。まず最初に、私たちの世界では、もともと魔族と人族の間に対立があったことは言ったわね。
Yeah, I do.
だから、小競り合いくらいは頻繁にあったの。それが大きな争いになったのは、とある人族の国が侵略をしたのがきっかけよ。
Did they just really hate demons?
そういう気持ちもなくはないでしょうけど、踏み切った目的は、スネーウ国が所有している豊富な鉱脈を手に入れることだったはずよ。
I feel like you mentioned that before. Your country exports minerals and metals, right? And you exchanged your jewelry for money when you came here into Japan.
はい。スネーウ国の山にはいくつもの鉱脈が見つかっているわ。
Still one of the worst names you could have ever given a fucking city.
農耕には不向きですが、豊富な資源があります。
Well, not even a city, it's a whole region. Is there any particular reason the demons decided to situate their country in a place like that? Like this? Like that? Yeah, it's a country.
それは簡単。もともとは押し込まれただけよ。
But
冶金技術が発展を遂げて、金属資源の価値がどんどん高まっていっただけ。
nation of Snoo Snoo? I mean, like, it is close to an Amazonian rainforest. Or Amazon rain... Never mind. You could pass it off as one.
それまでは豊かな土壌での農耕が重要視されてたのよ。
Right. Probably shouldn't talk about how fertile the land is when we're talking about Snoo Snoo.
金属資源や鉱石の価値が高まり、スネーブ国は豊かになった。それを羨み、農地を離れて山に逃げ込むような人族も多かったと聞きます。
I guess it's kind of like that here in Japan, where people migrate from the countryside to the cities.
周辺国からは目障りな存在だと思われていたはずです。豊かな鉱脈で国力を増していくことも、妬みを買うことになった一因でしょうね。もちろん、元々の確執も無関係ではないでしょうけどね。
So essentially, one of them was bold enough to invade and...
黙って受け入れるようなことはしなかった。そして、返り討ちにしたのよ。あっけないほど簡単に。問題はそこから。それを見た周辺国が参戦して、人族は連合を組んだのよ。
But why? They were the ones that invaded. Wait, the demons weren't planning to use that as an excuse to conquer them, were they?
まさか。他の国と商売ができなくなれば、衰退するのは目に見えてる。自分で自分の首を絞めるようなものよ。人族の国に攻め入るようなことは考えてなかった。でも、周辺の人族の国々はそう思わなかった。根底にあったのは恐怖です。報復を皮切りに進軍を始めたら、これを機に国土を広げようとしたら、 魔族が本気になれば、あっという間に飲み込まれかねない。手遅れになる前に、何とかしなければ。その恐怖が解消されない限り、人族は戦いをやめない。そして争いは泥沼化した。被害は拡大し、歴代の魔王たちも命を落とす羽目になった。
バックログ画面だ。
その恐怖が解消されない限り、人族は戦いをやめない。攻められ続ける以上、魔族も戦いをやめられない。
The war fell into a quagmire toilet.
そんな中、異例の若さで魔王の座についたのがアリオン。あなたの前世よ。アリオンは魔族の中でも突出した力を有していた。
But he was defeated by that Valkyrie, right? Or is that not how it goes?
アリオンが撃たれた事実は、国民に大きな混乱と動揺をもたらしたはずです。もし徹底抗戦を行っていれば、スネー王国は大陸から姿を消していたでしょう。
But you're still there, right?
国としての決定的な勝敗が下る前に、争いが終結したのよ。
So what you're saying is that Diablo died on purpose. You didn't lose?
スネー王国と争っていたのは、主にその周辺国のみ。離れたところに位置する国は、静観しているところも多かった。その中でも指折りの大国、バルフ帝国という国が争いに介入をし、講和を強引にまとめ上げました。帝国の提案を蹴るような余力はどこにもなかったということでしょう。講和が成立したのは、魔王が撃たれてからほどなくのことよ。
So he died on purpose.
おかげでスネー王国は滅亡を免れることができたわ。その代わり、帝国をはじめとした争いに関わった国と不利な条約を結ぶことになったわけですが。
What was so bad about it?
簡単に言うなら、採掘した資源を格安で譲るというものです。
Yeah, that sounds like... You know what? Never mind. I was gonna compare it to a real world economy, but that'd be too political.
賠償金のようなものね。でもそのおかげで復興の支援も得た。復興もままならない状況だと資源を採掘する暇もないもの。
You were saying Japan? No, I was thinking more current day. I see. So they technically lost their country, and their country suffered a major blow. So I guess the silver lining here is that they still have a country. You were saying China?
バックログ画面だ。
Okay. You really want me to bring this up? So, in Venezuela, the leaders of that country forced farmers and other companies that were selling quote-unquote essential goods like food and water to sell them at a low price. And then the problem that happened after that, after they forced those companies to sell those items at a low price, at a low enough price where they wouldn't make a profit off of them, they just stopped selling them. They just stopped producing them. Right? Anyway, don't bring up reparations again. I guess the silver lining here is that they still have a country.
どう？リクが見たっていう夢と今の話で関係ありそうなことは？
I think you told me about that. Yeah, I told you about that because people are worried that Australia will go down the same route. Because for some fucking reason, a lot of people on the left really like socialism and think it's this all-encompassing good thing that is better than the quote-unquote evil capitalism. You know? No, not really. Thank you, Riku. Thanks for agreeing with me.
夢を見たのはやっぱりただの偶然なんだろうか。
どうかしら。今まではこんな風に夢を見ることはなかったんでしょ？
No, even with all this transmigration stuff that's been going on, this is the first time. And I usually forget all about my dream when I wake up.
そうだとしても、そうね。
That's why you always have to have a dream journal next to your bed, so that whenever you wake up the next day, you can write down what you do remember in your dream, and then over time, you'll start having more vivid dreams that you can recall more vividly. And then you can start lucid dreaming. Too much work? I mean, you can just use your phone.
最近、何か変わったことはなかった？
Not a subject I should get started talking about. Which part? The socialism aspect or the dream journaling?
状況から考えると、特にリクのマナに関することで何か。
Socialism versus capitalism. Listen, it just depends on which part of Texas you're in.
何か心当たりがあるの？
そんなものはないぞですぞ。
語尾が変よ。あるんですね。
I think she knows something.
しかも、その反応。おそらくハレンチなことですね。
何を言っているのだ。適当なことを言わないでくれたまえ。それとも何か証拠でもあるのかね。
I can't stand Austin, Texas, so that might give you an idea if you know a lot about Texas. Well, what I do know about Texas is that Texas is very red, except for the big cities in Texas that are very blue. It's kind of the same thing in most states, even the extremely blue ones, like in where all the Californians move to. Yeah, it's like in California, even though it went blue, even though it turned blue during the 2024 elections, it was only like the major cities that were blue. Right, everywhere else in California went red, and then it's the same thing in New York, where it was only like New York City that went blue, and then the rest of it was red. Very weird. But then, like, at the same time, probably it's probably mainly probably went down to the fact that the Democrats didn't have a primary when they changed the leadership for the election 2024. Anyway, that's all I should talk about for that one.
証拠も何も。真っ赤になった顔、おかしな語尾、激しい動揺。ノアさん自身が立派な証拠だと思いますが。
僕、そんなに赤くなってる？
Just shoot those people, it's Texas. I mean, you say that it's a joke, but unironically, Texas has stand your ground laws, right? So, if they ever trespassed on your land, you do have more of a right to you know, you do have more of a right to shoot them. than in California, but obviously, right? That's not how it would work. Shooting them is kind of the last case scenario in defense of property. Yeah, exactly, right. You are, yes.
それで、お二人は一体何をしたんですか？
Not just for self-defense. Yeah. What does no one know, huh?
もしかして、何をしたの？
Let's keep it calm, okay? Level heads prevail.
下品なことをしてるくせに！
Poor girl. Listen, she's the one who mistook Bukage ramen for something inappropriate, alright? Or udon. Hey, I did no such thing. It was all Amane's fault.
あれはリクにとって下品なことではなかったのか？
Stop incriminating him. Not what I said. No, but if you were just trying to steal something, well, yeah, that's what the stand your ground laws is for. They don't have that in California, unfortunately. They don't have that in Australia either. So, you know. Oh no, my house is getting robbed. I can't protect my stuff from the intruder. I have to call the police to do that. I have to call the police first. And they'll only come after 2 days. It's so backwards. It was definitely inappropriate. Hard to believe.
やっぱり語るに落ちてますね。
It's not what you're thinking, I swear. You two know damn well I don't function at the moment.
あ、そっか。リクは今。
そうでしたね。ですが、ノアさんの反応は一体？
'Cause she a freak. Why don't we just tell them?
話すの？
I mean, it's embarrassing for me too, but maybe they can give some insight, you know?
それは、そう言われると反論できないけど。
And then Kaguya is like, why don't you do it with me instead? And that's how you can start Kaguya's route. Want me to do the talking?
わかった。任せるよ。
After getting her approval, I face the two of them and take a deep breath. It's really not that big of a deal. You know how I, can't get it up right now and all? We were just doing some practice to, like, fix that, hopefully.
ハレンチなことをしたの？
Well, let's just say that they couldn't show it in the all ages version.
したんですね。そんなにハレンチ言うんじゃないよ。
I mean, that's one of your most used words.
それで練習って具体的には何をしてるの？
Remember the training we did to contain my transmigrations? It was similar to that. She injected mana in a particular part of my body. I assume I don't need to specify what body part.
なるほど。マナによる刺激を受けて魔王の力が反応をした。
So what you're saying is that Riku got sounded with magic.
ですが姫様、それでしたら姫様が行っていた前世返りの抑制の際にも同じ状況だったのでは？
もしかしたら部位が関係してるのかもしれないわね。
Well, considering it's the most affected body part.
そこまで大きな要因になりますか？
さっき話をしながら一つ思い出したことがあるの。長く続く争いの中で若くして魔王の座についたアリオンには 子供がいなかった。
状況次第ですが、そこまで不思議ではないように思いますが。
ええ、織江の言う通り、私も特に不思議に思っていなかった。でも、もし魔王が子供を拒んでいたとしたら？
魔王が拒んだ？
そう。争いの中、子作りする余裕がなかったのではなく、魔王が拒否していた。だから、特別な反応を示した。
子作りを拒否した意識が残っているから、勃起の練習に対しても特別な反応を示したと。
His lingering will carries with it his desire to not have children. Imagine. How does that make sense? Your people practice celibacy or something?
まさか、そんな奇妙な風習はないわ。ましてや魔王ともなれば、その後継者が望まれて当然よ。
Yeah, why would a different country have different cultural norms? That would be too complex for a Ubisoft game.
仮に戦場にいたとしても、一瞬たりとも休む暇がないわけではないでしょうし。
That would require writing too complex for a Ubisoft game.
確かに、そうですね。
この場合、自然に考えるなら2つ。魔王は子作りを拒否していたか、もしくは子供ができない体質だったか。
Probably he couldn't, and that's why Riku can't get it up. What if he just didn't have a partner at the moment? He had two. What are you talking about?
ないわ。仮にも一国の王なのだから。
True. Hold up. What does that mean? If he didn't want to have kids, does that mean my problem's never gonna go away?
そうとは限らないでしょうけど。
Yeah, it's a visual novel. There's always gonna be a way to bring back your manhood. Wait, no, that's referring to the entire shaft, not only the act of getting it up.
まずは、私が言った推論が正しいかどうか、はっきりさせることが重要じゃないかしら。
一応、本国に問い合わせてみますか？
そうね。魔王アリオンの行動について、一度調べてみてもいいかもしれないわね。夢の内容に関しても、何かわかることがあるかもしれないし。
かしこまりました。
あと、リクの方でも確認を。いえ、リクとノアの2人かしら。
僕も？
その勃起の練習とやらをどんどんやってみてほしいのよ。
Honey, it's time for your 4 p.m. manna sounding. Yes, dear. I wouldn't call Viz the slave and slave partners, but he did have one. Spoilers.
練習が関係あるのか、偶然それっぽい夢を見たのか、その確認が必要でしょ？もし私が言ったことが正しいのなら、今後も魔王の記憶を見る可能性が高い。
Right.
魔王の記憶を確認していけば、本当に拒否していたのかわかる。かもしれない。もし違う理由だとしても、記憶を除くことで新たな事実がわかる。かもしれない。
If Diablo had a partner, it couldn't be the reincarnation of anyone that has a route in this game, right? I guess. Because then that would make that girl the technically canonical route. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. a whole bunch of mites.
それはそうでしょ？それを確認するためなんだから。
Who knows? Maybe... maybe... maybe it's... Why am I blanking on a name? Maybe it's Fumika's reincarnation. Transmigration. Even though he probably doesn't have one. Fair point. Or maybe she does and will only see it in her route.
嫌なわけじゃないんでしょ？
Just because he had a partner doesn't mean he consummated the relationship? Well, yeah, I know that. But that doesn't mean he can't consummate the relationship with the reincarnation of that person in the untransmigrated body. Right?
それはまあ、嫌だと思っているわけでは。とんでもなくハレンチなことを言ってるみたいだけど、違うぞ！ハレンチな意味は全くなく、リクのことを考えればという意味であって。僕はエロ天使じゃない。ないもん。
You could have fooled me.
からかっているわけではないわよ。夢とはいえ、魔王の記憶らしきものを見たんだから。真面目な話、確認しておいた方がいいと思ってるだけよ。もちろん、強要はできないけどね。
勃起の練習。どんどん勃起の練習。
Noah's sad murmurs bring back memories of yesterday. It's embarrassing for us both, but the burden is clearly heavier than her, heavier on her. I wonder why it's a monochrome. I wonder why it's the monochrome background of Kaguya's apartment and not Riku's bedroom or the TG that would have shown if it was the 18+ version. And she even feels partly responsible for the predicament I'm in. I feel like I'd essentially been taking advantage of her feelings. It's not an easy decision. When I snap back to reality. Eminem reference. Slim Shady reference. Yeah. Our eyes meet, and we quickly turn away. Her face is bright red as she stares at the ground. It's actually kinda cute. Well, she's always been cute, really. I've felt that way ever since the day I first met her in my living room. Well, no, your first meeting was technically in your classroom. In the classroom. But that's probably largely due to her being an angel. Kind of like how you watch an idol on TV and fall in love, or you see a model in a magazine and are captivated by their beauty. However, what I'm feeling right now while looking at her is none of those, except for both of those instances, they're actually unattainable. I mean, there's the slight chance you could become acquainted with either a model or an idol, but you are actually acquainted with the angel. She's just a normal girl to me. Today's the first time I've ever seen her in that light. We talked with Kaguya a while longer before leaving their place. In the end, we didn't reach any decisive conclusions. I was prepared for that, though, so it didn't come as a surprise. That's certainly not the reason for the awkward silence right now. I know I'm still blushing, and I feel strangely hot. The summer heat, however, isn't to blame. At least, not for now. You ready to go home? We don't have much else to do.
そうだね。そうしようか。
We walk side by side. I slow down a bit to match her pace. So, what do we do now?
とりあえず、そんな気軽な感覚で
I meant lunch, actually.
お昼。ああ、うん。そうだね。
Yeah, and she says she isn't a slutty angel.
外に出なかったらどうするつもりだったの？
We can order something, stop by a convenience store, or we can just go home and make something. For that, it'd probably be the instant ramen or curry. Maybe we have some fried rice in the freezer we could whip up too.
僕は何でも。でも、そうだね。冷凍の食品を食べてみたいかも。
Isn't someone only slutty if they have a lot of first-hand experience? No? What do you mean?
普段はいつも母君が料理を作ってくれていて、そういう機会も少ないから。
What, are you trying to distinguish between a slut and a pervert? I mean, I guess they're two different things, but... Oh, yeah. Even when she has work, she always has something prepared for us. Alright, we can swing by the supermarket and back up some frozen meals. A closet pervert IRL. Choose whatever you want. They're usually really easy to make.
わかった。じゃあスーパーで冷凍食品を選んで、お昼を食べて。
Noah's definitely a closet pervert. She's as much of a closet pervert as Yorihime. And the fact that both of them are deities in a way, that doesn't bode well for the perception of gods / angels in visual novels.
その後は？お昼ご飯食べた後はどうする？
She looks up at me unexpectedly. Kurumi has her beat. True. Kurumi's very closeted. Very, very closeted. Well, the thing with Kurumi, right, is that she can get away with it because she actually knows Japanese. Unlike with Noah, who will flinch at the slightest mentioning of anything that she heard in hentai. Dexter, you've brought up Uta before when referring to closeted perverts. Like, she calls her fucking Goonie sessions maspirations. What are you talking about? We're finally done. I probably put my pants back on. Thanks, Noah.
何が？
Also, like, I thought you wanted to. I thought you only did this in work mode. You know, angel mode. Why are you in your casual clothes? I know this is embarrassing, but you're putting up with it for my sake.
いいよ。これも僕の使命のうちだ。君の安寧につながることなんだ。それに。
Noah, what's wrong?
もし君の言う通り、死に際の魔王が満たされていたのだとしたら、どうしてなのか。僕も気になってる。魔王が何を考えていたのか、知りたいんだ。
Yeah, I want to know the answer to that question too. It's a little frustrating that we need to rely on dreams to learn more. Though I guess I wouldn't mind napping a little. Actually, I better not. If I sleep during the day, I won't be able to sleep soundly and dream at night. I'll just stick with what I'm used to and sleep once a night. Anyway, want to play something? We go to Amane's room and ask her for a game we can play.
スタブラでもやる？
Of course it's fucking Smash Bros. I mean Slash Bros. No thank you.
トラウマになりすぎでしょう。でもそれなら、オセロとかトランプとかウノでもやる？基本2人で対戦するタイプになるけど。
How'd you go from a game to a video game to 2 card games? Guess we can take turns. Considering Noah, we should probably go with something simple.
よくわからないけど、ルールは単純な方がありがたい。
Yeah, I know one game. Ever heard of Go Fish? Amane plays a different Smash Bros. And her out. True. I saw that from that other guy's stream that actually streamed the 18 plus version of Angelic Chaos and didn't black out the screen during the H scenes. On the Twitch side, at least. Okay. Honestly, I never expected you to have tabletop games too, Amane.
ま、一応、クラスの子と遊んだりするときにね。
Mikuni?
もちろんサイちゃんもだけど、サイちゃんとはもっといろいろやるかな。第六感覚とか、打ち合いの FPS とかも。
You say that, but here's the thing, right? I don't think you can consider Dead by Daylight an FPS game. And you definitely can't consider it a VR game. But they keep bringing it up. Really? She doesn't seem like a hardcore gamer to me.
私と同じで、面白いゲームならこだわらないってだけ。グロ系が苦手ってわけでもないしね。むしろ、私よりもそういうのに抵抗ないタイプだよ。
It's always the innocent looking ones, isn't it? It's always the plain ones that have the most that are the most freaky. That's even more surprising. We keep talking while we set up the game. We managed to have fun playing, but all the while that dream is nagging me in the back of my mind. Diablo was struck down in battle, and I think what I saw were his final moments. He should have felt pain and sorrow, but all I could sense was this peace of mind. He accepted defeat, welcomed it too. Don't tell me that the Valkyrie was the fucking, what'd you say? Yeah, his partner. Surely, right? That would be too cliche. But why? Alright, what is it at? Oh, it's the... I was waiting for it. Oh shit. In the end, everything worked out just fine. No? Okay, good. I was able to have another weird dream thanks to Noah's efforts. I see the same vast verdurous meadows with imposing mountain ranges crowning the horizon. I'd never mistake the scenery, especially the sword piercing my chest and the blood splattering around me. Did you add the mature rated game tag? No, it's just on by default when you use the Games Plus demo category. I still have many questions, but this is only a dream. I can't move freely since I'm just simply viewing Diablo's memories. All I feel is the peace of mind I felt last time. But why? I don't understand. My vision becomes hazy as the blood sputters from my chest down the sword's blade and onto the grass below. It covers the person holding the sword as well. They're looking up at me, at Diablo. Surprisingly, her face is that of a woman. Why is that surprising? Aren't most Valkyries depicted as women? Her long, luscious hair sways in the wind, and her fair skin glimmers under the sunlight. Her beauty is almost ethereal, almost like she's the Norse depiction The Norse equivalent of an angel. This Diablo's memory. I've never experienced this or anything like it. But for some strange reason, this woman feels familiar to me. What is a male Valkyrie called? It'd still be a Valkyrie. I don't think they have a different name for a male Valkyrie. Suddenly, I hear a gasp. It doesn't come from Diablo, but from the girl holding the sword. Her eyes widen as she looks at his face. The expression on her blood-stained face is one of surprise. As for Diablo, all I can feel from him is a deep sense of fulfillment.
貴様、何を笑う？
俺か。
笑っているだろう！
Why is she so loud?
そうか。ま、そうだな。悪い気分じゃない。
It's not like I can change her volume, right? She doesn't have an independent fucking slider
設定画面だ。
voice. She doesn't have an independent voice thing
ボイ
unless
ス音量の確認です。
this could
ボイ
work.
ス音量の確認です。どういう意味だ？
Okay, that actually did work. Never mind.
どういうって。いや、気にするな。
Is it your internet? Is your internet okay, or is it just Twitch? I think it's just my computer.
この傷は、さすがに無理だ。どれだけマナがあったところで癒せるもんじゃない。あいって泣きそうなくらいで。
この後に及んでからかうか。
なんでだよ。そんな余裕なんてあるわけないだろう。俺は死ぬよ。間違いなく死ぬ。だから疑ったりするな。お前の勝ちだ。
ならなぜ笑う？何がおかしい？
自分でも驚いてるくらいだ。まさか最後に笑うことになるなんてな。本当にまさかだ。
魔王、貴様は一体何を言って。
Oh no, who would have guessed that she would look like Noah? I can't believe it. The Valkyrie, which is the equivalent of an angel in Norse mythology, would look like Noah, an angel from Christian mythology? I would have never guessed. She had blonde hair and blue. She has blonde hair. I wouldn't have guessed that she would also have blue eyes.
言い残すなら何を言うかいろいろ考えてたのに、こんなことしか言えないなんて。様になんねえな。
Is Briku gonna comment on it or something or anything? The dream ends, and I find myself looking up at the ceiling of my room. I'm not in that foreign mountainous area anymore. So Diablo did die back there. Probably right after the dream ended, judging from the conversation. What I witnessed was probably his last moment. Yet, he was smiling. I guess that means he did feel content in that moment. He did feel content in that moment. And that girl must have been the Valkyrie. She looked somewhat familiar. Maybe that's just my imagination. I can't make sense of this. I mean, I doubt I'd forget a lady that beautiful if I'd met her before. They definitely aren't an acquaintance of mine. I barely even know any grown-up women, excluding family. The only one that comes to mind is Fumika. Plus, that was Diablo's memory. It stands to reason that they're from that world and not ours. Okay, yeah. and so is Kalgia, and so is Orie, and so are you, and so was Amane, and so was I'm blanking on the names. And so was Karumi, and so is Noah. So I don't know what you're getting at here. All of you have links to that world, so that's not an explanation. There's no way I know them. Actually, didn't they say no one knew where she came from?
魔王の最後は戦乙女に撃たれたそうよ。戦乱の中に突如現れ魔王を討ち取った。人族にとっては一種の英雄ね。出自不明、経歴不明、突如戦場に現れた謎だらけの女性。人族の中では突出したマナーを持ち、その力は魔族に匹敵、もしくは上回っていたと言われているわ。
I've been thinking about Christianity recently, and it feels cruel to me that someone who tries to be a good person would go to hell for simply not believing. That's not true. Dexter, you do realize the only reason that is associated with Christianity is because people from back then used it as a fear-mongering tactic to get people to believe in God. You understand that most of Jesus' disciples didn't believe in God before they became his disciples. The first fucking the first ever humans did not believe in God. I've been looking into it. Where have you been looking into it? Oh, I'm alive apparently. Thanks, Chatterino.
彼女はその力で魔族たちと戦い、ついには魔王を討ち取った。そして姿を消した。
I think that's specifically how she detailed the story. Could it be? Maybe that sense of familiarity is coming from Diablo himself. It said that if you don't have faith or pray, you would go to hell. Who's it? Oh, now apparently I'm offline. He might have known the Valkyrie, and that's why. I'm just going on a tangent now. I need to take my mind off it for a while. Maybe I'll be able to think it through more rationally after. Hey.
おはよう、リク。
Oh, the Valkyrie. I mean, hey, Noah. The Bible. Maybe the Old Testament, but not the New Testament. Oh, no one else is here? It's already 8 in the morning, so Dad and Mum probably left for work at least an hour ago. It's another blisteringly hot day. I commend them for being able to go outside in this weather.
何をしてるんだい？手なんて合わせたりして。
So what is it then? Okay, here's the thing, Dexter. I think you need to understand the God from the Old Testament and the God in the new one are essentially completely different people, quote unquote. Alright? The God in the Old Testament flooded the earth. The one in the New Testament didn't do that. Maybe you could say this, maybe you could say something Revelations and the Rapture or whatever, but that's not that it's, you know, just giving my parents a gesture of my appreciation for their hard work.
こんなところで密かに念じるより、本人の前で直接言えばいいのに。
If I did that to Mom, she'd just bonk me on the head and tell me to stop being dumb.
確かにそうかもね。
What do you believe, or are you an atheist? It's complicated. I'm a theist. Oh. Well, let's go on and have breakfast. I'm hungry.
その前に、今日はどうだった？魔王の記憶を見ることはできた？
Yeah, I did. It was hardly any different from yesterday's, though.
というと、今日も胸を剣で貫かれたってこと？
Yeah, basically. At this point, I'm certain I'm seeing Diablo's memories.
それはどうして？
It was the same scene, but I could see everything a lot more clearly. Yeah, it was less bitrate killy, you know? And I was able to hear him talking.
会話を？それは、
Yeah, he said something about a Valkyrie named Noah, and how he was really hot when she was covered in his blood. And maybe I'm paraphrasing a little.
魔王が最後に何を言ったのか、聞いたってことか。
Yeah, this is exactly what the Valkyrie looked exactly like this when she killed him. Never mind. Noah rushes over and looks up at me. Her sudden zeal causes me to retreat a step and put my hands up to keep her back. Yeah, I think so. I just heard what they talked about, and I saw the Valkyrie that killed him.
それは、
She had this beautiful, almost doll-looking face, doll-like face, kind of like yours. But surely there's no relation between the two, right? Huh? Two pieces then connected in my mind. Took you long enough. I compared Noah and the Valkyrie. It's almost like they did the CG. They made the CG look similar to the dream on purpose to give. It's surely it's not to give the reader the connection, right? Surely it was Riku. Surely it was to give Riku the connection, but then, like, you know, this isn't exactly what he's seen. Their faces are eerily similar. I thought she looked familiar because of this resemblance. Their bodily structures couldn't be more different. Well, you say that, but Noah, you haven't seen Noah in fucking armor. What do you mean? Maybe if the Valkyrie was wearing a sailor uniform, you would see the resemblance more. However, Valkyrie's face is a spitting image of hers. The resemblance is uncanny, unless all angels look like Noah. In face, I mean, not... Maybe there's a big titty Noah looking angel out there, whatever. In a different series. And then maybe one of them looks like Love Me L. Never mind. What are you talking about? Because lust is one of the 7 deadly sins. Or is that sin just towards other people that are real? Like, you see how I could be terrified since I don't actually know. Like how I do actually know if I'm committing any one of those 7 deadly sins. Except, okay, here's the thing, Dexter. The 7 deadly sins are a thing because it is related to how those sins, in particular, hurt people, right? I don't think you're committing the sin of greed just because you want an extra $100 in your bank account. All right, you're committing it when you're getting that $100 from stealing from a homeless man or whatever, right? In the same vein, what about sloth? You are committing that act upon yourself. Right? More so sloth. The other ones you can make an argument about you're committing those sins at the expense of someone else. You can do the same with the sin of sloth, but right, it works in the same way that you are committing those sins on yourself. Right? A guna is committing lust, right? that is detrimental to their health, right? Jerking off to lolly hentai once a day isn't gonna, it's not gonna do much. It's when it becomes a lifestyle. It's when it becomes your lifestyle to goon to lolly hentai. Like mine will be when I keep recording these visual novels. Never mind. So much so that I readily believed so much so that I'd readily believe you if you told me she was her sister. Yeah, she was really pretty. I guess that's why they call her the Valkyrie.
会話も聞いたって言ってたけど。
Okay, here's the other thing, right? I understand why they didn't link the audio
設定画面だ。
of the Valkyrie to
僕の
Noah
名前は知ら。ボイス音量の確認です。
because then it'd make it a bit more obvious. Well, not quite all of it, but I got the gist of it. Diablo was about to die after being stabbed, but apparently he was smiling.
らしいっていうのは
I couldn't see his face, so I just went off what the Valkyrie said. Couldn't you have felt his face muscles? You felt other things about Diablo when he was dying. You couldn't feel his face.
あ、そっか。記憶を見たってことは視点がそうなるか。
But I am confident he was smiling. He spoke with a certain smugness in his voice. And I don't think the Valkyrie would lie for no reason. At least I don't think so.
そうだろうね。
Yeah, I don't think you would lie, Noah. Her expression turns pensive. And I see the Valkyrie again in her face.
それで指摘された魔王の反応はどんなものだった？
Did I just watch those Wendigoon videos? Do you think it would help me or make me more terrified? I think you should watch all of Wendigoon's videos, especially the ones that relate to Christianity, because he used to be like a Sunday school teacher or something. I don't remember. Well, I don't think even he himself expected himself to smile while on the verge of death. I mean, he's Christian. That's all I'm gonna say. He didn't seem surprised though, like it was unexpected, but he quickly accepted it.
そうか。
Hey, Noah, is something bothering you? You've been acting a little strange.
そんな風に見える？
Yeah, it's almost like you're scared for Riku to see the connection between you and the Valkyrie. Yeah, more or less.
そうか。いや、不安にさせたのなら申し訳ない。
Okay, Dexter, can we just rip the bandit off? Is Noah the Valkyrie or related to the Valkyrie? Because, like, I'm gonna keep making these jokes if you don't answer yes or no.
君の今後にも関わってくる可能性があるからね。確認しておきたかっただけだよ。
We need to figure out why, as Kaguya mentioned, Diablo didn't have kids. Noah is similar to the other main heroines regarding that question. Okay, good. Good. So she is basically just... I mean, you say that it's similar, but out of all of the other heroines, Noah is the only one that looks eerily similar to her reincarnation, or her past self. Valkyrie is Noah's past life. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Why does no one else look like their past self except for Noah?
魔王はどうして笑ったりしたんだろう。
Like, the exact reason why he's able to make the connection is because Noah looks like the Valkyrie. I don't know. I couldn't really get into his head, into his mind. all I felt was this general sense of fulfillment.
命を落としたのに満足。
Her reaction seems slightly different from usual. Am I just imagining things? Or is there a deeper meaning behind her curiosity? Surely it wasn't her, right? No, it couldn't be the Valkyrie, the one who slayed Diablo. The seeds of doubt are planted in my mind. The purgatory, is that the place where it's determined if you go to heaven or hell, or is it a place where you just stay? I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen Mendigoon's video on Dante's Purgatorio, okay? You'll have a better understanding of Purgatory than me if you watch the video, because it'll be fresher in your mind.
念のため確認だけど、気分や体調に問題はないんだね。
Either way, I got the thumbnail for this VOD.
昨日よりも記憶が明確になって、魔王の死の記憶に触れた影響は？
Yeah. I feel fine for the most part. I stretch out my limbs to check. Well, enough talking. Why don't we eat? I can't think too much on an open stomach.
顔でも洗ってきたら？準備は僕の方でやっておくよ。
On an open
ブロ
stomach?
グ画面だ。
Most people say an empty stomach. What do you... an open stomach? Okay, sure. Maybe it's a Japanese thing and they're just localizing it. Alright, thanks. Oh, they're direct translating it. So as long as I do my best to not commit any of those 7 sins, I should be fine, essentially. I mean, I guess. That's one way to do it. After breakfast, I go back to my room and watch U-Pipe videos on my phone. But I can't focus whatsoever. My mind keeps circling back to that dream. I can't stop thinking about it. I drop my phone and flop down onto my bed. It was the same dream as the first time. The only difference, and what won't stop bothering me, is that I saw the Valkyrie's face, and I made the connection between her and Noah. Their faces are way too similar for it to just be a coincidence. The next question is, okay, if the Valkyrie is a version of I mean, if Noah is... If the Valkyrie is Noah from the past... Okay, there we go. When did Noah gain those memories? Right? Was it at the same time as Riku, where she got a dream like Riku did, but from the Valkyrie's perspective? Or was it like when Noah kissed Riku the first time and then she got so-and-so? Or like, did she always have those memories? I mean, there's got to be a reason why she looks so similar to the Valkyrie, right? The way Noah was acting feels odd too. The obvious answer is that Noah and that woman who defeated Diablo were the same person. But the woman I saw in my dream was an adult, whereas Noah's much younger. It doesn't add up. Also, Noah's an angel. I don't think age plays that big of a factor in terms of how an angel looks. Are we forgetting this fact? Or is it like in MML where the age of the monster girls, quote-unquote, the magical girls, they weren't like, you know, Lucy wasn't like 100 years old. She was just actually 15, right? I mean, 18, right, guys? Right, guys? All of the girls in MML were 18. Of course, if she grew up and appeared before me again, I would probably think they're the same person. Not to mention how surprised both Kaguya and that guy from her world were when they learned of Noah's existence.
あなたの方こそ何者？翼を生やした種族なんて初めて見る。魔族にだっていないわ。
はあ！空って翼だなんて魔族にだっていないぞ。何者だお前！
Based on their reactions, I doubt Noah's a denizen of their world, who's come to steal Diablo's power, except for the fact that you say this, but those two examples were specifically referring to demons. Angels and demons are different. The Valkyrie would not be a demon, and the Valkyrie didn't show wings, I guess. Right? If they haven't made the connection to the Valkyrie with Noah, that means the Valkyrie never showed wings, even if she was referred to as the Valkyrie. Maybe that's her actual title, or you know, it's in the same vein that she was labeled a hero by the humans or something. But if my hunch is right, the Valkyrie who killed him, has now appeared before his reincarnation. None of this makes none of this makes any sense otherwise. Noah must be hiding something from us. What's her real aim? Maybe you shouldn't go down the... Maybe you shouldn't reach the worst conclusion imaginable. She's not here to finish me off. Once and for all, is she? Could be. Can't be. She's had countless opportunities thus far. She'd have no real need to protect me or pretend like she's acting in my best interest. Of course, I still know little about her. Though I can safely say she's not plotting to kill me. So for Wendigoon's videos about the Dante stuff, which order should I watch them? You should watch them in the order that the playlist puts them in. As in, you start with Inferno, and you end with Paradiso. Where does that leave me then? There are too many unknowns. And no matter how much I rack my brains, no answer comes to me. Screw this. I'll never be able to figure this out on my own. I get up from my bed and stretch. It's also better to start with Inferno, because out of the three series in the Divine Comedy, the 3 parts in Divine Comedy, Shut Up series, Inferno's definitely the worst one. The first Inferno, second Purgatorio, third and lastly the Paradiso. Yes. Because here's the thing with Inferno. Most of the time, it was essentially a power fantasy where... Okay, here's the gist of how Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso works. So, Dante, who is a character in the Divine Comedy, is guided by Virgil through hell, purgatory, and heaven, right? In Inferno, there are a lot of people, a lot of characters in Dante's Inferno where it's basically just, oh, this character who is similar or the same named, who the author of the Divine Comedy doesn't like, is in hell. Right? So it's basically a power fantasy. Inferno is basically a power fantasy of, oh, all of these people in Christianity that I don't like are in hell now. They're in different layers of hell. Alright? The reason why Purgatory and Paradiso aren't like that is because, obviously, there aren't as many people that he dislikes in either of those. In Purgatory or Heaven, right? Then I leave my room. Noah, do you have a minute? I slide open the door of the guest room Noah's staying in and walk inside. She simply looks at me curiously.
どうかした？
Not really.
なんだいそれ。もしかしてすでに休みボケが始まってる？
Why are you looking at me like that? But you do think that those three things of afterlife exist? In some way, and similarly? Yes. Not in the exact way that the author of the Divine Comedy has made it out. What am I saying? I think hell, heaven, and purgatory exist, but not in the same way that the Divine Comedy depicts them, where there are layers to each. Right? I guess. She's acting like her usual self. There's no trace of that fretfulness from this morning. What are you doing?
いや、特には考え事をしていたくらいかな。
Do you think the layers are combined into one? Yes. I think there is one hell, one purgatory, one heaven, no layers in between. No layers for each.
リクは
In each.
部屋でゆっくりするんじゃなかったの？
Yeah, I was watching some videos, but I got a little bored.
ふむ。それなら、昨日みたいにゲームをする？そういえば、あまねは？
Probably still asleep. She stays up late gaming during breaks. Yeah, she was too busy playing Smash Her Brothers. Smash Bros. Smash Her Brother. Whatever they call it in the game.
夜更かしはあまり体に良くないのに。昼間のうちにゲームをして早めに寝るんじゃダメなの？
That's a very valid point, but I guess the time of day is important. She's big into online games, see?
昼と夜では何が違うの？
Yeah, more people are awake then. That's when the Americans are awake. Different people play in different times of day. Around this time of year, most people online during the day are kids, since they're not in school. Oh yeah, that too. For Japanese servers, the kids are on in the mornings. And according to her, playing with kids is a nightmare. And tons of griefers and rage quitters. Rage baiters. Then again, I'm pretty sure she's just biased. So yeah, it's important that she plays at the right time.
ふむ。よくわからないけど、重要な要素なら仕方ないのかな。
I don't really feel like playing games right now. Why don't we go out for a bit?
もちろん僕は構わないけど、意外だ。暑い中わざわざ出かけようだなんて。普段はあれほど嫌がっているのに。
Right. Well, sometimes you just want to get some fresh air, you know?